Welcome to the It's All Fine and Dangy podcast, where hosts Dan and Angie talk with creatives, small business owners, charities, and all kinds of interesting people. It's all real talk. It's all fine and dangy.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show and to the Halloween special. Sound effects courtesy of Dan Fox.
That was just me trying to do a scary laugh.
Well, happy Halloween, everybody, and we are so happy you could join us today. We just kind of wanted to jump on and do a little recap of what we've been up to for the past couple weeks. It's been a lot.
It has been a lot, and I want to mention this as we start for the second time tonight, that I am using new equipment. So this is supposed to be making my life easier, but we have new mics and a new mixing board. I mention that now specifically because if you hear something weird or it goes sideways for a minute and it's not too bad for me to start all over a third time, then that's why you're going to hear it. So we're trying to learn it here, but I think everything is coming together.
So I love that this new equipment is hopefully going to keep you out of the studio a little more, because Dan does all the editing and, all the technical guru stuff that has to do with It's All Fine and Dangy. And I'd like him to be out of the studio just a little more. So this should do that, I hope.
I think it will. And
it's a pretty little gadget. You should post we should post a picture of it.
With all the lights on it lit up?
Yeah, I should. I'm going to take a picture right now, actually.
Okay.
But anyway, our October and November are pretty jam-packed. Have been so far, but even us going into November is pretty busy. And then we slow down a little bit in November or in December, which I'm happy about.
It seems like it's always that way this time of year for us, where we have events in October, but both events that we just like to go do, and then other events that are, I should put it this way, both events that are like small business, local community that we like to go do. And then we got some other things we do that aren't so small business. But let's start by talking a little bit about the Whimsy Market, folks, because we recently did the Fall Girls Day Out event.
Yes, we did. And it was held at Valley Farm Hopyard, one of our favorite little local places. And that was really fun. I love that they kind of do this like female empowerment type vendor event, because they only have female vendors there on the Girls Day Out events.
Okay, that's cool. I didn't know that.
So there's other events where they don't do that, but the Girls Day Out events, they do really try to put a focus on women ran businesses, which I really love.
I do too. It's the Girls Day Out event, so obviously it's a Girls Day Out to go shopping, and there's clothes there and a lot of things for the ladies, but what I thought was going to be like the token guy that was there, there was a lot of guys there, and there was stuff for dogs there, and really good food there, and there was a full bar there.
Oh yeah, Top Shelf Bartender was there.
Top Shelf Bartender was there. We're trying to get them on the show too, but so you could get not just like a beer, they had that, but you could also get like a full blown mixed drink and walk around. It was very cool.
And I do love what they do too, is they always try to come up with some specialty drink. So of course it was fall, and they had a couple like seasonal drinks that, were kind of little, spin that they put on some classics basically to represent that it was a fall day, even though it was hot as heck out that day.
It really was. Well, it's fall in Florida, but you had that drink. What was that? It was like a cinnamon.
I wish I remembered.
Apple pie or something?
Yeah, it was something. It was it tasted like fall.
I had a fall drink too.
You did? You had an Oktoberfest,
didn't you? That's a fall drink.
That's right. So Dan and I were at the event. We were... Technically, they called us MCs, but really, I feel like we were more DJs, because I put together a fun little female empowered playlist as well, because I chose to do all female artists from the 80s, 90s, 2000s.
That was awesome.
So some great hits, some old classics that are classics to me, because it was in the 80s that I loved them. But yeah, we got some great feedback that there was music there, and it just set kind of the mood for the day, and it was a nice day. I was a little warm, but it was nice.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I don't know what I pictured, but it turned out really nice. And it was...
it's a beautiful day.
Beautiful day.
Brought our little puppy there, because it is a dog-friendly event when it's at Fox Valley Farm. Not all Whimsy Market events are pet-friendly, so make sure if you go to their page or their website and you're checking out their schedule, just double check to see if it is a dog-friendly event whatever property they're going to be on.
For each one, for sure.
Yes, because that does change.
And there are more Whimsy Market events coming up that we're going to be at doing emceeing. And also, I'm going to be there with my Flying Fox Shots drone aerial photography business, doing a couple of events to get some footage of some of their Whimsy Market events that are in areas that are open that we can, get some really cool footage. So I'm very excited to do that with them too.
Yeah. So we had that event October 15th, and then the very next Saturday, we went back to Fox Valley Farm and Hopyard for the second annual Bines and Brews event. And what is Bines and Brews event, you may ask?
Yes, I was going to ask. But, the Bines thing I wanted to mention, as we did last year, people are like, you mean vines? Do you mean wine? It's actually B as in boy, INES, Bines, which is, I guess, part of the plant on the actual hop.
It's basically the vine that grows up.
Yeah.
Because that's what hops do, is they kind of grow up toward the light. And so it's basically the vine, but they call them vines for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know the reason. I don't look it up. I don't know.
I don't either, but it's so that if you're looking it up, like, I want to go to that next year, it's Bines with a B.
Yeah.
And what it is it is a group of homebrewers that come together for this competition, and everyone that does homebrewing is welcome to come to this competition. I learned something interesting this year. Like the difference between, say, microbrewing or craft brewing individually versus home brewing is, if you're a home brewer, you don't sell beer. You don't have a license to sell beer. You make it for fun or as a hobby, and you give it away.
Yeah.
And that means when you go to the event, it's important to know, and I swear I know so many people that would have loved to have gone to this, but first of all, Fox Valley Farm and Hopyard is in Apopka, and it's really nice. If you go, you're going to be like, wow, this is like totally top of the line.
It's a farm.
It's a
real
farm, but it is like a modern farm, and it has been set up.
I love that you brought that out.
Yeah. It has been set up to actually be a farm, but also to have guests there, so you can see that it's just like everything is done top notch. Mike and Jen Fox, who own the place, have done unbelievable work on that land. But for this Bines and Brews event, it's free to get in. It's free beer. If you're 21 and up, it's a really cool event. There's free live music. This year they had Jency, was his name?
Yes, they had Jency there. It has a very unique take on music, like its own special sound, definitely. He mixes like pop music with country music, like old country music.
Yeah.
And the way he can transition from one song into another, that takes a good ear.
To
know what two songs you could combine like that.
And like even songs I don't like from like the old country music, just the way he did them, they're so good. It's hard to explain the way, but he's just got a really good voice. He's got his own songs that are really good.
Yeah.
And it was just, the food was really good. They had barbecue there from Knucklehead's Barbecue.
Oh, yes. That was some good barbecue.
It really was.
Yeah, and their sauce was a little vinegary, which I normally don't like, but it was like a sweet vinegary.
Yeah, it was good.
So it wasn't as sweet as I normally go, but it was really good barbecue.
I thought so too. And the beers. I mean, I said this last time, there were 11 brewers last year. There were 18 this year. It tells you how much the event is already growing.
Oh, yeah.
But Angie and I always lean towards like a darker beer and like porters and stouts, especially porters, which they had a couple there.
Yeah.
But they have IPAs, they have saisons, and if you don't know that much about beer, and I really don't.
If you don't know much about beer, a craft beer event like this is your place to be.
It so is.
Because you get to, that's how I discovered there are some beers that I do like, because I am never have been a beer drinker.
Right.
Not one to just, and it has to be super cold for me. If it starts getting warm, I'm going to pour it out. It's gross.
I remember that when you and I met, you didn't like beer, and you loved the beer there. And now you drink beer at restaurants and stuff because you know how to order the stuff that you've tried at these.
So, but when we go to a new brewery or something, I always get the flights, and that's kind of what this event is. It's a little cup that you get. Yeah. So it's like you're trying a flight, basically. So you're going to each tent of each craft brewer. And, we love to ask questions to them, how they make it and what they're going for. And with these home brewers, you're going to find they really it's an art. It's an art.
It really is.
So they really want you to ask questions and get to know, like, what is the process behind what they did this? Why'd they pick this flavor? What is it they like about beer?
Yeah.
And the cool thing about going to each thing is you get to try all different kinds of beer, and then you decide, oh, I really do like that kind.
Yeah.
Or I would drink that one in the summer. Like there was a lot of those that were like, oh, this is a summery, very light drink that you might have
in the sun, all day.
In the sun, or something a little heavier that's a little warmer. Yeah, you could. Oh yeah, how they said crush them.
The one bird said, these are for out in the sun so you can crush them, and I'm like, what is that?
I'm too old. Please explain it to me.
But to your point, Angie, the other thing too, I guess, to piggyback onto your point is, if you want to learn about all the beers and you want to go deep, and which we did, of course, they're happy to do it. If you don't and you just want to try the beer and move on, they're totally happy with that too. So I feel like it's a great event for anyone that just wants to come try some craft beers. I swear I mean this. I said it last time. Not one beer there tasted bad to me.
There was nothing I would have spit out or didn't drink my whole little. It's almost like a little shot glass that you get. And I just disclaimer. I do want to let you know it's quite a bit of beer that you're drinking, and some of it is a high alcohol volume. So, just be responsible. Be responsible. If you need to take a Uber or drive with somebody else that's not exactly drinking, whatever.
Yeah.
But I think next year, since we will probably MC next year as well, I think we'll share a glass.
Yes.
So that we can have at least a nice little swig of each beer and taste it. But yeah, we're a little buzzed.
We also did all 18 of them
yes, we did.
in 45 minutes to try to get back to the mic so we could do the emceeing in between
and a regular beer from Three Odd Guys Brewery that was actually set up with serving full beers there.
They had two different kegs. They were serving two different kinds of beer there, and we love those guys and we love going there anyway. But we had a really nice chat with them, and we're talking about maybe doing something together on one of our episodes too, which would be really nice.
And their beer actually went really well with the Knuckleheads barbecue.
Oh, it did.
Yeah.
I found that, I mean, to me, that food was a perfect matchup for really any of the beers in that event, but especially Three Odd Guys, because you get a whole one and go sit down with it, and have it with your meal. But such a fun event.
Yeah, and I do want to say that for all you homebrewers, for all you homebrewers out there, I am drinking wine tonight, so maybe that's why.
I know. I feel like you can hear me in the glass.
Yeah, you kind of can, yeah. But for any homebrewers interested in this event for next year, because Mike and Jen will be doing this next year, they actually had official judges there. They had 4 official judges that this is what they do. They go around and they really take their time and they want to give an accurate judgment, basically. And there was 3 categories. I can remember 2 of them, maybe not the other one. It was hoppiest, best in show.
People's choice, is it?
People's choice.
People's choice.
People's choice. So that's what I wanted to say. It's not just, this is a competition. It's not just about, how many people liked your beer the best. This is getting down to the nitty gritty of, who used the hops to the fullest.
Yeah.
Who really did the best overall job in whatever the categories are, the judges. Because there's all sorts of things that they are looking for when they taste the beer. So that's really interesting.
They were meticulous too. The judging panel, I don't know what their criteria is, but they know beer ins and outs. And, we went and checked on them a couple of times and said, hey guys, how's the judging coming? And they're like, yeah, still got to go through, they were this meticulous sort of spreadsheets they had out going through each one.
I know. It's really interesting. And I mean, I don't know how they do it because I just taste a beer and go, oh, I like that, or I don't like that, or, oh, it's a little bitter for me, or whatever it is, but it's still good.
Yeah, it was very good.
So I don't know what it is that they really look for, but if you are a home brewer, you probably know what they're looking for.
Right.
So,
and if you I think it fits if you're a beer aficionado, which I know a few people there that were, and in fact, one of the home brewers is obviously one, but whistled like the gopher from Winnie the Pooh.
Whistledy.
Hey, funny. I'm probably killing everybody's ears. But it was a great event. We can't wait to go back. And I really just want to mention once more, if you're in the Apopka area, make sure you're on the lookout for it next October because you're really going to want to go, and I guarantee you're going to have a great time.
Yeah, and it's usually sprawled out for like 5 hours out of the day. Like this year was 12 to 5. So you have plenty of time to come
and go.
Spend an hour and head home if you want. Yeah, but definitely check it out.
Indeed.
And then came the Halloween parties.
Yes.
Woohoo!
We just got back from the second one, but let's rewind a couple days. A couple days ago, we went back to the Hard Rock Hotel's Velvet Sessions Halloween party. This has been closed down for 3 years, so this is year 4.
Yeah.
And it
was...
Well,
so 2018 was the last time we went.
So it was 18, 19, 20, 21. Was it? Oh, because they were down 3. So yeah, this is 4 years. You're right. They were down for construction.
Yeah. So 2018, we went as Captain Hook and Tinkerbell.
And we won.
Yeah. As naughty Captain Hook and Tinkerbell.
Okay.
Okay. We've got to add that in there. So we won as that, and we won a 2-day stay to Hard Rock. Mm-hmm. We went back in 2019, and they weren't doing the party.
And we had this great idea that we were going to use our winnings to stay during the party because it's really cool. And
it's easier to get ready at the hotel.
And I'm going to be honest, the hotel's a little rich for my blood. It used to be like $400 a night. Now it's like $600 and change a night. So they told us we had to use up the winnings within the year. So we just made it a weekend. It was great, but we couldn't do it for this coming up party.
But did that stop us from getting dressed up, Daniel Fox?
It did not stop us from staying out there either because we found one of the nearby hotels, the Sapphire Hotel, was less than $200. And honestly, I really like that hotel.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say I might like it better than Hard Rock as far as the room and
it was a beautiful hotel.
Amenities and stuff.
Yeah. And we took a little, so we got ready in the hotel this year.
Yeah.
But the year that we went where we used the free stay, Dan and I still got dressed up, and we found out there was another party, a few miles away
at Disney. That's right.
At the Edison at Disney. So we had some friends that went there, and we went over there.
But COVID shut down these parties entirely for 2 years. So we thought it was over. We thought we're not going to be able to go to these anymore. We have one here local that we love. We'll talk about that one. But we thought, the big Hard Rock, the big, event with the live bands, that's over. And we were wrong. It was back. So that was really nice.
Yes.
You were about to mention the water taxi.
Oh, yeah. So we got ready and that in the hotel. And we actually got ready pretty early this year. Like normally we're scrambling because, you're doing these costumes from scratch and prosthetics and stuff. And something always goes wrong.
Yeah, and it did this time too.
Yeah, it did this time.
I forgot to bring it for those of you that ever we've had Vamp on. I know some of you are into the prosthetics and the makeup and everything for Halloween or whatever, but there's something called liquid silicone that you have to put around the edges.
Latex.
I'm sorry, liquid latex. Is it? Okay, it is.
It is liquid latex.
Liquid silicone might be something else, but liquid latex. It goes over the crack around like a bald cap or a fake nose. And if you don't have it, you can distinctly see that you just have a thing glued on your face.
Yeah.
Well, I forgot it. So we had to get very creative.
Pivot.
And still we got done early.
We did.
And we were doing our traditional Patron shots in the room.
That's right. And so we took the water taxi.
Yep.
And it was so fun because when we got on the water taxi, everybody applauded for us.
It was so great.
Because we went as Beetlejuice and Lydia.
Yes.
Lydia Dietz.
From the wedding scene.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I had that big fluffy 80s style red dress on with the big hair, and Dan was all done up unrecognizable.
With the maroon suit. It looks like an old suit that Beetlejuice dug out of the grave, so it's too small, and he's got a bunch of rings on. It was really cool.
And yours was really stiff, just like his would have been, because he took it off a dead corpse.
Mine was stiff from 5 cans of spray paint, and my brain was stiff from breathing 5 cans of
the
spray
poor
paint.
People we sat next to, they were probably high by the time they left.
But, everyone was so sweet, and maybe because it's Universal property, but people were clapping and wanting to come take our picture. And then we got off the boat, and this girl told us about how Beetlejuice was a special thing between her and her dad, and that made me cry. And took a picture with us, and it was just
sweet.
It was really cool, and that was just before we even got there.
I know. So then we got into the party, and of course, it's still daylight out, so we're walking around like all these tourists, and they're looking at us like, what a bunch of nut jobs. What are they? Or remember, the Universal people told us, "Oh, you can't go in the park all dressed up." You know that?
Yeah, they
thought
we were
going to the park.
Halloween Horror Nights. You can't go, just for those of you listening for Halloween Horror Nights, you can't go there dressed up. And I get why, because they don't want the audience there having a bad exchange with you and thinking that's part of their show.
That's right.
And they're, you
can't tell because everybody's in costume that works there.
Right,
so,
right. So they pull the security aside.
Plus, that's a universal character, Beetlejuice. So that would be like, we would have fit in, but you can't do that, people. You can't go.
It was funny though, because we go, it's like airport security. We go through like a metal detector, and then security pulled us aside and said, "You guys just wait there for a minute." And they waited for everybody else to go, and then they came back and said, "You can't wear costumes." And I didn't get. Angie luckily was thinking, because I'm like, "What is he? You can't wear costumes on these boats?" And I didn't know what he was talking about.
I got it. I got it. But yeah, we walked in and we were so excited to be back into the Hard Rock lobby where they have it all decorated up. The vibe was a little different this year for us because we're used to like old rock bands playing that were like kind of the music we were into. Yeah,
and sometimes even older, like Molly Hatchet and stuff has been there. Yeah. It's just a rock vibe. It's a rock crowd.
But it was like 90s boy bands that were there. And so it had their own crowd. And I don't feel like as many people were dressed up.
Not nearly as many.
Maybe those people didn't even know it was like a Halloween party, though.
True.
Is what I'm thinking. So, but we did find our group. Had been there before, and it was great.
It was really fun. I would say there were at least 100 people there still dressed up.
Yeah, there was. But usually it's everybody.
Oh, usually it's, 200-300 people, yeah.
And there's some amazing costumes usually.
Oh yeah.
My gosh.
I mean, there were some good ones this year.
Yeah, there was really good, but sometimes these people take this serious, and they do it
do.
up. But we did get, as soon as we walked in, as Beetlejuice and Lydia Dietz, we got handed a card. It said, "Meet us up at the stage at 8:30." So we did get in the running for the contest.
And the cool thing about Hard Rock's contest is you can't just say, "Hey, I'm going to be in the contest." They have to find you in the crowd and bring you up on stage. And we have never done this for the contest. In fact, we usually come after the contest is over.
Yeah, because we get there late because we're at home getting ready and it takes so long to get there.
Yeah, and I'm not saying no disparagement for those of you. I know some of you do your costumes specifically to win a contest, and that's great. We've seen great costumes that way, but we don't do that. So it's nice to just get pulled up there. And I'm alluding to the fact that we didn't win, of course. Yeah. But it was cool just to be up there.
I don't think a lot of people in the crowd knew who we were.
They didn't. So...
We're aging ourselves by saying this, though.
God,
we are so aging ourselves.
But it's also like a group. So those of you that know Beetlejuice, which I hope is most of you, but those of you that know who Beetlejuice is and you know the movie, you know the scene towards the end where, and I know it's been a while since we've all seen it. We had to watch it before we went just so I can get some lines. But there's a scene where Beetlejuice like helps the ghosts, and then he's like, "All right, well, the deal's a deal," and then he's going to marry the teenage girl, which is totally creepy in retrospect here, but he's a creepy dude anyway, right? He's like a dead creepy dude, and all of a sudden it switches to where he's got like a old tuxedo on, and the girl's in a dress. Lydia Dietz is in a dress, and that's the whole scene. And he, when the preacher, alien, whatever dead guy says, "I need the ring," then Beetlejuice pulls out like a finger. And he like from someone that he's ripped off, and he takes the ring off, and then he says some joke to Lydia. Well, I did that on stage, and nobody knew what the heck I was doing or what it was from. And those of you that may know the boy bands, Chris Kirkpatrick was like the guy doing the whole contest, and he looks at me and he goes, "Was that real?" Asking if I really just asked Angie to marry me.
And I said no.
Right. And I'm like,
she says no.
And I tried to make some jokes about the finger not being real or the snakes I had not being real. And he didn't seem to get it. And it was like the crowd didn't get it. And it was like, okay, we are out of our element. It was the wrong group.
Oh my gosh.
It's so much so that
I do feel like it felt a little rushed too.
Yeah. They were trying to get the bands on.
Previous years, it wasn't like that. It was like you were able to kind of play your character a little more. And they did the, they went back and did the hand over everybody, but people did not know who Beetlejuice was.
They really didn't. And I think what that made me realize is there is a difference between the Halloween crowd based on their music, which is crazy. Like, I guess maybe if you dress like the younger crowd, but half of them didn't dress up. And when we got back to the crowd, everyone was very cool, but we had people congratulating us on getting engaged, and I'm like,
she said no, first of all.
You guys need to go watch Beetlejuice. But I hope I'm not making it sound like we didn't have a good time. We had an absolute blast. It was so fun.
We met people there that had been there before. We remember taking pictures of them years ago. We have a page called Halloween Sessions,
on
a Facebook page. Yeah. And I went back through there. I'm like, oh, look, that was her. She was dressed up as this.
Yeah, we found our people.
And I found her again, you know? So that's that's really cool to see that. But it was an awesome time. That was Thursday night. We recovered on Friday.
We had one night off.
We had one night off, recovered. And then we were back at it again Saturday night for a local party right here in our little town, right down the road.
And a really, really good local party, too.
Yeah. So another of our favorite places, Wekiva Island. They do an amazing Halloween party.
They really do. And the costumes that show up
are
there.
off the chain.
So we talked about this maybe 10, 20 episodes ago about how the lady from the movie The Ring won last time. And she was dragging a TV around. And if you've seen that movie, it's terrifying.
In character all night.
Well, this time when we got there, keep in mind we're Beetlejuice and Lydia again. And for those of you that know
we're one of the first people there dressed up, by the way.
Right.
Again.
So for those of you that know the movie, there's a scene towards the end where Beetlejuice is in like the afterlife lobby and he's rubbing his hands up and down the legs of this girl that's cut in half sitting next to him. Well, lo and behold, guess who was dressed up at the party like the girl that's cut in half? It was the girl that had previously won playing the Ring Girl. So
oh my gosh,
we took a bunch of pictures with her. People thought we were all together. Back at, by the way, I reverse for a minute, but back at the Hard Rock, Miss Argentina is another character from Beetlejuice was there. So it was kind of neat. We found people that were like from the same movie. You know, it was neat.
That was great. There was another Beetlejuice there. He was dressed in the black and white stripes. He's been there before.
Yeah, he has.
We saw him in some of our pictures. So it's just a great time. What I love at Wekiva Island, though, is if you want to enter the contest, you can enter it, and you got to walk the little runway. You know what I mean? And some people bring props or they bring music to play as they're going down.
Yeah.
Dan did his little ring and snake routine.
Nobody got it again.
But it's okay. And the judges kind of judge you on your costume. Which I love. I love that they're actually judging on, the costume instead of just an applause, But what they do there is they have like a group costume. So some people come in there's 6 people dressed up as kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
And there was a group there that were dressed up all like pharaohs and like Greek or not Greek gods, like Egyptian gods and stuff like that.
That was a cool one.
That was a really cool one. And people were just really over the top creative. The chick that came dressed up as a Venus razor.
Oh yeah, there was that. There was Marie Antoinette's ghost where she's like holding her head in her hands and it looked totally real. That was really neat.
There was some really people got really creative. There was Grandolph. And Grandolph.
Gandalf and Grandolph. It was like a grandfather and a grandmother.
And they had all their grandkids' pictures on the inside of their cape. It was just super, super cute. So
very clever.
Really, clever thinking and making their own costumes. Just a lot of people putting in like that effort, which is what I love because that's what I did growing up.
Yeah, I do too. I love it when people make their costumes. And I feel like that Wekiva Island is really good at, maybe unlike Hard Rock a little bit, Wekiva Island is really good at catching that, and their judges are catching that. Oh, they made this costume. They didn't just go buy this costume, and that was super creative. And so the girl that did the cut in half thing, she won again, of course. But I mean, she basically brought a couch that she was sitting in.
She plays in character all night too. She sits there just like that girl does. You can't get up and move around. You're in half.
Yeah, she's sitting inside the couch.
I love it that she did that. But I will say that Beetlejuice and Lydia, even though they only introduced us as Beetlejuice couple.
I know. You know what? We'll finish your sentence.
I never get the recognition I deserve.
We're going to talk about that in a minute because I have some thoughts.
Jeez. So anyway, we did place 3rd place.
We did, and it was a great prize still, even at 3rd place. So
it's like $150 cash and $50 to the island gift card.
I mean,
that's amazing.
The prizes there are really, really good. So
first prize is $500, and I think it's like a $500 gift card to the island. It's like $1,000.
Yeah, it's $1,000.
Holy moly! And let me just tell you something about the drinks are very well priced at the island. $500 can last you a long time.
Did we win that one 4 or 5 years ago? We won one that the gift card lasted so long. I was like, how much money's on this thing?
We won first place, but it wasn't overall.
Yeah.
So it was like first place couple or whatever.
Right.
So it was still like $250 in cash and like a $250 gift card.
Right.
So it was $500.
It lasted us more than a year, the gift card. So it's a great, and Bill and Mary Weinog, the owners, they go all out. The place is just decorated to the nines. It is the coolest environment. They're all dressed up too.
Yeah, them and so every year that the owners and the whole staff have to dress up. They all dress up in the theme. So this year it was like white trash.
It was
white trash. It was amazing.
Which I don't know how
and
how
they've
PR
done like
that is,
pirates before, whatever, you know. So I mean, it
PC,
was great.
Yeah, it was great. It was
PR,
so fun.
we have no PR around here.
PC, but yeah,
PC?
politically correct. Yeah,
whatever.
I don't care either. But it was so fun, and they were so fun, and props to Bill and Mary and Wekiva Island. And again, I know it's early to plan next year, but if you're thinking about where is a really good Halloween party right here in Apopka, it's there, and you're going to be blown away. I'm going to tell you, I love that place. We talk about it all the time. But full disclosure, the first time we went, I'm like, there's no way their Halloween party is going to compare to Hard Rock Hotel, and boy, was I wrong.
You were wrong. And guess what? We didn't have to pay to get in at Wekiva Island. We have to pay some money to get into.
Oh, there's a lot of benefits. Don't get me wrong. I still love Hard Rocks, but it's not. There's a lot of benefits above and beyond at Wekiva.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it.
And the other great thing is food there as well from Without a Paddle Cafe.
Delicious food.
And then also, so they got food there. They have entertainment. They had musicians in.
Life on Mars was there, the band.
I didn't know that's who it was, but no. Okay, so they had a band there, and they're playing in the Tooting Otter.
That's the wine bar, the sort of music room.
Yeah, so there's entertainment there, and it's really a great time. You spend a lot of time just going around taking pictures with people, but really, it's wonderful. So we enjoyed it. And we will be back again next year. We already have our costume in mind for next year, so stay tuned for that, guys.
Indeed. And let's talk for just a second about Bill's book. We had Bill and Mary on the last episode to talk about that book, which is available for purchase now. It's called...
Yeah, October 26th. It went on sale, and it's kind of a play on something they do at Wekiva, the Wekiva Paint Out.
The Wekiva Paint Out, and the book is called The Great American Paint In.
There you go.
Because it's related to the coronavirus. So we talked about it in the last episode, but the book is available for purchase now.
Yep. And we will actually be at Wekiva Island tomorrow, November 1st. From 4 to 7, they're doing the launch party for the book. It'll be in Gallery Zero, which is up above the bar. And definitely if you have an interest in art, or you just want to help support a local business, stop by, see what they're doing. And they're really passionate about the arts and keeping artists working. That's kind of what this book was about. Let's keep them working during the pandemic.
Yes, and they're in the expression of what the pandemic was like for artists. Yes. They have, that's a rare sort of glimpse of what it looks like from someone with that artistic ability. Yeah. It was a really neat thing because, we could write about it, we can talk about it, we can watch movies about it, but seeing paintings about it.
And those pieces of art are very important in history, because when we go back in history, why do you think a piece of art is valued at, billions of dollars or millions of dollars?
Sure.
Because it's a glimpse back into the past that we don't have any other way, because maybe they didn't have photographs back then, or whatever it may be.
Or maybe it was a pandemic where it's like something we may never see again. It's like I hope we don't.
But I love that Bill, has this, is inspired or has the inspiration for this book to be a historical art book, basically. For the future.
Yeah, I do too.
So
I do too. It's going to be a great event and a great book. We already know it's a great book.
But we will be there from 4 to 7. Well, a little bit after 4. I get off work at 4. So, but we will be up there at Wekiva Island tomorrow or Tuesday, Tuesday, November 1st, to help support the launch of the Great American Paint-In.
Yes, I can't wait. And I'm going to piggyback off of that for just a second to talk about my novels, because I am going to be at Sci-Fi Pop Fest. Well, actually, Angie and I both are going to be at Sci-Fi Pop Fest next weekend. That's on November 5th at the Lake County Expo Center in Eustis, Florida. So I'll have a book booth set up there. This is almost like a Comic-Con type thing. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I'll have a book booth set up there selling my 2 different novels, Lies That Bind and In the Dark. They are fiction thriller novels. So if you're into that, or you're into the Comic-Con scene, or you just want to see, the whole sci-fi thing, come out there and check it out. It would really be cool to see some people from the show or some listeners from the show out there.
And I'm not sure. I think this might be the first time they're doing this event. So it'll be, great to just show some support for, a local event that's coming to Lake County. I think it's their first time.
It might be. I think
so, yeah.
I'm just, tickets are still available. You do have to go get tickets at sci-fi-popfest.com, but it looks to be a pretty cool event. And I want to give a big thank you to Steve Altier, who told me all about it. He is a fellow author who just got signed on a contract with a publisher, so we are thrilled for Steve.
Oh, congratulations, Steve. So our Halloween extravaganza did not end Saturday.
We went to another Halloween party.
We did. We didn't have to dress up, though.
No.
So every Sunday at 9 a.m., we go to yes, people, this is a real thing. We have a corgi, and we go to a corgi meetup on Sundays at the Doctor's Park in Apopka, the dog park. And today there probably was 50 plus corgis there dressed up
in Halloween costumes. It was so great.
And Dan posted a little video. He put a little video together because I think he got a picture of almost every single corgi that was there.
I tried.
There was the regulars that we usually see every week. Then there was, people we don't normally see. So it was such a great turnout. There was other people there with their dogs, and they were dressed up too. And MacKinzee was a little pumpkin because I tried to put the least amount of stuff on her because she hates it. And she tries to tear it off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I can't dress her up as a cool dragon or something like that.
No, but we did see one of those.
Yeah. There was a dragon, princesses, pink lady, and T-birds. Oh, my gosh.
I saw Superwoman.
Superwoman and Batman.
Yeah, very cool.
There was a hot dog. There was, a lot of different costumes, and it was super cute.
It really was. And just real quick, while we're talking about that video I made, Angie's going to post a little video clip of our Halloween hijinks at the 2 different Halloween parties, probably today when you're hearing this podcast on the Monday.
That's right.
And I think that wraps for this episode.
One more thing.
Oh, it doesn't wrap.
One more thing. No, we're not wrapping yet. So we do want to tell you about an upcoming event that we are going to be at, another Whimsy Market event. And it's time to get your holiday shopping thinking on because...
Oh, their holiday market.
Yeah, because Christmas is right around the corner, guys. So November 19th, we will actually be out at Fox Valley Farm and Hopyard here in Apopka again from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's a long shopping day, okay? So you have plenty of time to get out there. Free admission, free parking. We're going to have over 70 local vendors there to shop from.
That's a big event.
I mean, that is a lot of vendors. And what we love about this is it's small business that you're helping to support.
Yeah.
It's your creatives because a lot of these people are making the items that are in their tent. I mean, you have some that are, other kind of stuff, but majority is handmade creatives that are making this. And this is what they do for either a side gig or for their living.
Their full-time gig, yeah.
Yeah. So it's a kid-friendly event, of course. It's family-friendly. Your host, Dan and Angie, will be there playing some fun holiday hits and some fun music and do a little emceeing, We'll talk to you here and there, but we won't try to disturb your shopping too much.
I promise you that Angie doesn't talk like that when she's doing the emceeing,
Sometimes I do. I sing a little bit, whatever. They are going to have a top shelf bartender out there.
Yeah, so we love that place.
You can, get your mimosa as you're walking around shopping, get a cool little holiday-inspired drink, which I know they will have.
Yep.
Or what's my favorite thing?
Your favorite drink?
From them. They make really good morning drink.
Oh, a Bloody Mary.
Their Bloody Marys are really amazing. And they do sell out of those a lot of the time, so you have to get those early.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They do. Also, they're going to have a bounce house there. They're going to have like little petting zoo with animals.
Oh,
so,
wow,
if you bring your kids, it's something for them to do. Fox Valley has cornhole set up and things for the kid, fun kind of stuff for the kids to do. So, and of course, food trucks will be there and treats and it's going to be great.
Oh, I also wanted to mention, I was just teasing you about the way you were talking because you were kind of pivoting your head back and forth. I don't think it came through the mic, but also Allison Law, the photographer, is going to be there. She's the one that did the photography for the last Whimsy event.
And she got the most beautiful picture in the world.
Oh, of MacKinzee, our dog. Yes.
Yes, she did. My dog's very photogenic. I'm just saying.
That's true. But Allison is really good. So she's going to be there taking photos as well. And we want to remind everyone it's a smoke-free property. So if you're going to come out there, it is no smoking, which I love. Right. Just saying.
And no outside food or coolers, unless you got to bring baby bottles or something like that. Yeah.
That's right.
Help support the food trucks that are going to be there. There'll be some really good ones.
You'll be happy you did, trust me.
You'll be happy, enjoy you get a little snack, enjoy the picnic tables, and have a great day. And make sure that if you heard about this event from the It's All Fine and Dangy podcast, to stop by our tent. We'll be blaring the music, and you'll hear our voices every once in a while. Come by and say hi, guys.
Yeah, please do. And tell the Whimsy Market folks that you heard about the event from the It's All Fine and Dangy podcast.
That's right, guys. And as always, if you want to help support the show, you can scroll down. There's a link below that you can click and help support us through our Patreon page.
That's right. We appreciate it very much. We have $1, $3, and $5 sort of tiers that you can donate to that, just for clarity, did not buy this mixer board for me, but we really do appreciate the the people that are already sort of helping to support the show. And if you'd like to support the show, we really thank you for that as well.
Yes, we do, guys. And remember, at the end of each and every single day, it's all fine and dangy.
Nice. I think that turned out really nice.
Yeah, you're going to listen to it anyway, aren't you?
No, just the beginning and the end here.
Okay.
But
no edits, Dan. That's it.
You hear how I'm getting in trouble here, guys?
No edits. If there's a blooper, it's staying.
There's no bloopers. We did great.
There was one blooper, but it's always something I'm saying.
Congratulating us here. I don't know why.
I'm always saying something weird or can't pronounce a word, so it's probably me. Anyway.
The thing is, we're never going to catch that perfect beat on It's All Fine and Dangy right here, but that's okay.
Hard. I'm going to go get my dog out of prison.